Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and I'm really excited to be making this video with you guys today. Today is Nintendo Switch launch day, and I just got home from midnight release at GameStop, but I'm super lucky that I even got to go to GameStop at midnight because I actually pre-ordered mine at GameStop, but at a different GameStop, and I pre-ordered mine at the mall. And unfortunately, none of the GameStops in the mall in this area seem to be opening. It doesn't seem like the malls actually want to pay for security at midnight for all this stuff. So I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to pick mine up tomorrow. I'm gonna be like delayed trying to make this content for you guys. I wanted to release an unboxing and a couple of comparisons with the original Switch OLED and stuff like that that I had, and I'm gonna be behind because I have to wait till 11 till they open tomorrow. Then I found out, as a lot of you guys probably did, that the GameStops were getting more in that you were going to be able to pre-order today at on June 4th at 3 o'clock, and you were going to be able to go get it and pre-order it before the midnight release. So I went over there and I did get it. As you can see, I got the non-Mario Kart edition. I did actually technically have the Mario Kart bundle pre-ordered at the other GameStop, but I'm giving that one to one of my cousins, and she can take that one. And I got the physical edition of Mario Kart sitting right here next to me. Right there, which works out better anyway, because I was going back and forth if I should have done that the first time, because obviously as a physical collector of games and stuff, and a lot of people probably aren't going to have this because it seems like a lot of people are probably going to be buying the bundle for the next like year. So I figure, let me go ahead and get the physical edition just to have the iconic launch title. So I was like, hey, screw it. And, this is all they had left anyway when I went to GameStop. They didn't have the Mario Kart bundle anymore, so it made it pretty easy to make that decision. And here we are. Now we have the we have the Nintendo Switch in front of us. We're going to unbox it and take our first impressions of holding it. I have not seen this before. I've not obviously looked at it before. I haven't seen the screen. I haven't been to any of the events or anything. So I'm super excited to see this for the first time and, share it with you guys with my first impressions. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Now, just so you guys know, I did pre-order other accessories as well. I'll be picking that up on the second GameStop tomorrow because of this GameStop that I went to at midnight. A lot of the accessories were sold out. I do have the Pro Controller pre-ordered that I'm going to pick up tomorrow at the other GameStop. I do also have the micro SD card from them that I'm picking up from them. I do also have the camera bundle right here. So tomorrow I'll be making a video on the accessories that I got in a separate video, which will be the camera, it will be the Pro Controller, and it will be the micro SD card, and see how that does. And, I'll be looking forward to messing with all that stuff tomorrow. And, like I said, we'll do that video separately out of this unboxing. And let's go ahead and dive into this Nintendo Switch 2. And here is the box. Obviously, as you guys are looking at, it's a little smaller than I thought. You always think that these things are going to be bigger than what they are, but it is heavy. You can tell there's a lot of stuff in here. This is not a light box by any means, even though it is small. And let's go ahead and open this. There's no tape at the bottom, which I always like, because then you don't have to ruin the box that you get this in. So it just kind of snaps from the bottom here and opens it up. And let's see. We don't open this backwards like I've seen a lot of people do. People have been opening this stuff upside down. We did not do that, which is great. So the first thing you see is actually the system itself and the Joy-Cons right on top. So that's the first thing you see when you open this up here. We will be doing close-ups of this stuff, as I'm talking and stuff, so you guys can see it, obviously. And the GameStop experience, before I continue here, was really cool. When I went into GameStop, the line was huge. There was like 200 people online, and then probably like 40 or 50 more people joined me behind me, and I showed up at like 11:40. There was a lot of people online. The line moves really quickly as we were going through. Once they opened it up at 12 o'clock, they had all these receipts that you had in your hand, and everybody had a number, and everybody had already paid. So it was more about going into GameStop. They looked at your number. They had the bundle all separated by numbers already. They handed you your bundle depending on what you got. They checked it at the door, and then you were in and out. It was the fastest line I've ever seen. For me to have like 150 people in front of me, and I got out of there at 12:20, 20 minutes later, was super awesome. So GameStop handled it really well. It was cool to be a part of a midnight launch again. Talking to some people online and stuff like that was always super fun. And everyone, just being excited about the Nintendo Switch launch. But these are the Joy-Cons. I have not seen the Joy-Cons before. These look really, really nice. They definitely are bigger, like people have talked about. Definitely very premium feeling. You can tell that these Joy-Cons here have a much more premium feel. I do like the two colors that they went with. the blue and the orange here. You know, as somebody who's a blue fan, and nice orange. And like I said, these feel nice and premium in my hands. These feel so much better than the OLED Switch. And like I said, I'll be doing a video comparison on all the different features of the OLED versus this one, screen comparisons and all that stuff. We'll do a little bit of that at the end of this video, just showcasing both side by side. But for the most part, that'll be in a separate video. But yeah, these feel really nice. I like the matte look of the controllers. And yeah, really, really nice controllers here. We'll put that down for a second. And then, of course, the main event here is the screen. So we're going to go ahead and get back to that here in a second. Let's look at what else we have here in the box so we can come back to that at the end here. Let's see what we have underneath here. We have the instruction manual right here. We have an HDMI cord right here. A little symbol here that says Ultra Certified Ultra High Speed Cable. So you can see that little symbol right there. So you know that it's a high quality cable that you're using there for 4K and all that stuff. Here are the nice Joy-Con straps that you have, again, with the blue and orange. Love these colors and love the, you know, these are the colors that they went with, like I was just talking about. So we'll put this back in the box. Close this up here. What else have we got in here? So the next thing we have here is the grip. Again, really, really nice grip. Obviously, it's a bigger grip than the Nintendo Switch original one because the controllers are bigger than the original Switch, and this has the Nintendo Switch 2 logo right there on the front. Really, really nice feeling grip. You can tell this is going to be much nicer to hold. It feels more like a full controller than the other grips did by the nature of the fact that these Joy-Cons are bigger. So right off the bat, you can tell this is going to be a much better controller to feel. I never used the grip before. If I was going to use a controller, I always use the Pro Controller. Obviously, the Pro Controller is still going to be a much better controller when I talk about that tomorrow when I pick it up. But this feels so much better that it's not going to be as a nuisance when you're like, oh, I have to use the grip. So it's not going to be that bad like it used to be. Next thing we have here is the micro cable, it looks like. Is that what this is? Yeah, this is the micro USB, sorry, not the micro, the USB-C cable. I don't know why I said micro, but USB-C cable here. No more micro cables. I don't know why I was thinking of that. And then we have the power plug. Instead, you can see a nice little beefy charger, as you guys can see right there. So you got that right there, connects via USB-C. And then, of course, you have the nice dock itself. And this is a much beefier dock than the original here. There's the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. Again, touching this is the exact same thing, I would say, is that it has a much more premium feel than the old original dock. There's like a built-in fan on the back to keep it cool and everything. Really like the way that this thing kind of looks and everything. It just has, again, it just feels premium. It feels like hefty. It doesn't feel very plasticky like the original one. This feels like there's some weight to it and there's some electronics in here. It just feels more premium. That's basically what the story is with this stuff. So I'll leave that here for the time being. But of course, the main event here is the screen itself. Here is the Nintendo Switch screen. Obviously, it is a much larger screen than the original one, this being an 8-inch screen. Super excited to see this, and yeah, this is a much bigger screen. I'm super excited to get this on. Now, this is the first time we're attaching these. These are color-coded, as you can see here. Don't do what I've seen some people do on the unboxings where they plug these in backwards. Really, really hilarious when I saw that today, when some of the people got it early. They are color-coded, so they just snap on. Boom, there's a snap. Here's the next one here. Boom, there's a snap. And man, does this look like a beautiful console. I ain't gonna lie, this thing is huge. When the Joy-Cons are on this right here and you're holding this in your hand, this is huge. I can't wait to see my cousin's reaction, who like I said, the other Switch is for, that she's gonna come to my house and pick it up on Saturday. But man, this thing is massive. And it does have a protector on it. If you look closer, you can tell there's like a film over it. Don't remove that, as people have already said. Don't do that. But yeah, this feels so good in the hands, and the screen is so big. I'm excited to turn this on. But yeah, really nice feeling. Joy-Cons, the buttons all feel good, and the joysticks feel nice. So there's the game chat feature right there. But yeah, let's go ahead and power this on for the first time. Let's see what the setup is going to be like. There's the Nintendo logo. Obviously, this is not an OLED screen, but I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not. I haven't really seen it. I can tell you right now, looking at that Nintendo Switch logo, is it as black as other devices like the OLED? No, but that was pretty black. as far as the screen there. Like I didn't like, you could tell the screen is good. I think a lot of people have rumored that this may be like a mini LED or a QLED or something like that. That's like, you know, the higher end of LCDs, not like the cheap version of it. And I'm excited to do that comparison for you guys with the screen, because people have been talking about this whole entire time. Oh, I can't believe it doesn't have an OLED, but like, we're gonna see how much of that does it actually matter. So I'm going to flip the camera here and just show you guys me going through the initial screens here, just so you guys can see it and what you guys get on these initial screens. All right, so here we are with the Nintendo Switch right here at the main menu here, just to show you guys the initial steps. So you're asking to select a language. Like I said, the screen is massive. It looks really good so far. I can't wait to see this in game and do some comparisons here. But obviously it's telling me to connect to the internet here, so it's searching for my network. So I'm going to go ahead and get that connected. All right, so as you can see, we are officially connected here to the home network. I'm assuming it's going to ask us to do an update. Yep, there it goes. System update is about to happen. Update starts downloading in the background, it looks like, and then it's going to ask you to select the time zone. I'm not going to lie, I really like the background music of this. Let me see if I can put this volume up higher so you guys can hear it more. Nintendo always does a really good job with their background music. It's like a really soothing, like relaxing, but Nintendo-ish sound. I don't know, I just like it. There you go. There's some of it. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. The system can stand at whatever angle you like, just pull out the rear stand. You can now connect the AC adapter to the top of the system. So it's going to make us go through different play styles and stuff. So I'm going to have to detach this and put up the stands here. So this is a good time to show off the kickstand here, which is also something different from the original. This stand actually is more of a like angular stand, as you can see. It's not like the cheap flimsy one that came on the Nintendo Switch 2. You can feel how much more premium this one is. Again, a lot of the things that I keep saying is this is just a much more premium feel. So detach the right Joy-Con. So we're gonna go ahead and press the button and it just detaches. Detach the left one. There's like a little button here on the back that you kind of press to detach the Joy-Con right here. And then it just kind of pulls apart magnetically. And there you go, it comes off really easily. And then you have the Joy-Con sitting right here in front of you. Then you press next. Do you want to connect to a TV and play on a larger screen? I will do that later. You can use the accessories that came with your system to hold the Joy-Cons in multiple ways. So obviously you can see the grip there, or with the strap and everything that I was talking about before. Choose a style, you can change it at any time. So there you go. Ready to update the system. Boom, we're gonna update the system here. It shouldn't take that long. Nintendo Switch usually doesn't take a lot. Hopefully those servers aren't getting slammed with people downloading Mario Kart from whoever got the Mario Kart bundle, because that has like it's not like the physical game. It's obviously a download code. So let's see how long this actually takes here. I'm gonna go ahead and reattach these back just because it's easier to show you. That's such a satisfying click, just like it always has been. And this stand here, you can put it in multiple directions. So I could put it a little higher if I want to. There you go, system update complete. All right, you can transfer data from your Nintendo Switch to this Nintendo Switch. The only reason we're not gonna do that is because I feel like a lot of the games on the Nintendo Switch that I have, I'm gonna keep on the Nintendo Switch 1 because I'm not selling my OLED. So I'm gonna keep that because there's not really a purpose to kind of get rid of it at this point and you know, just use it the way it is. So I'm just gonna not transfer. Obviously, a lot of my data that I'm using for certain games are gonna have cloud saves and stuff like that, with the exception of like Animal Crossing that I'll have to figure out how to transfer over. But it's not gonna be a big deal. I'd rather not sit here for hours waiting for it to transfer every single game that I have downloaded on the other one. That's gonna be nonsense. So I won't do that for the time being, and I will just you know, download the games on here that I actually are Nintendo Switch 2 specific, or have Nintendo Switch 2 features that I want to play on here. I did get the 1 terabyte SD card, but I don't pick that up till tomorrow. Let's add a user. So we're going to sign in to our Nintendo account here, of course. We're going to sign in with our QR code because that's always easier than any other method, of course. There we go. Love the sound effects of the system already. Signed in. There you go, your gaming tech. Unfortunately, they didn't let me put your gaming techie because it was too long. Not gonna add another user for the time being. Not gonna set up parental controls because it's just me using this thing. If you have a micro express memory card, insert it now. Obviously, like I said, I'm getting mine tomorrow, so I can't do that right now. Setup complete. To go to the home menu, press the home button. And boom! Oh, there's that nice... Oh, there we go. We're getting a little... Are we getting a little intro video? I like when they do that. Oh, that's such a sleek looking intro. That is a very Nintendo, very small touch that I haven't seen anybody else showcase, that I've never seen before, and I'm glad. But that was a really nice like way to open up the home menu. Very nice Nintendo touch. From here, you can re-download and play your purchased downloadable games. So there you go. So here is the menu. Again, it's very reminiscent of what we've had on the other Nintendo Switch, so it's not that surprising. Nintendo Switch Online you have right here. You have Game Chat over here. You have the news section. You have Nintendo eShop, the album. You could have up to 30,000 pictures now on here. Game shares right there, controllers, virtual game cards, and your settings. So obviously, we're going to do a full review on this as time goes on here in the next couple days. We're going to do comparisons and stuff. The only thing I want to show you guys right now is a screen comparison with the OLED and the Nintendo Switch, and that's something I want to see myself. So I'm going to open up the Mario Kart game and then get my OLED Switch and put them back to back here, just so you guys can get a feel. We're not going to play the game, but I'll show you guys the opening menu just to show you guys what that would look like and compare the screens by eye level so far. All right, so here we go. We got Mario Kart inserted there. It's going to probably download an update, so I should probably do that real quick. Yep, there you go. Hopefully it's not a big update. Most of the game is on the SD card, obviously. This is just an update. Here's the Mario Kart game. It's not like a game key card or anything. Full game is on here. There's the back of the Mario Kart game and stuff like that. Super excited. This is obviously the first game I will be playing. Before we start that, though, I want to just do a screen comparison here for you guys. Look at these systems here. Let me go ahead and open up the kickstand here. So here are both of these systems here side by side. Again, there it is. And look at how much bigger that screen is. I mean, I don't know how easy it's coming across in this video, but the screen on the right is so much bigger. And you can see how vibrant the screens are. I mean, yes, this is the OLED edition right here. And this is, you know, the non-OLED edition that we don't know exactly what screen technology is using, unless if it came out and I missed it, or with either being QLED or mini LED, whatever the case may be. But it's definitely not a cheap LCD by any means. The colors look vibrant already just by looking at that Mario Kart logo. If I scroll over and I look for the last, where's Mario Kart? Because that's what we're going to be comparing it to, just because the main screen of Mario Kart just seems to be very vibrant. So it's always a good way to compare the colors and stuff. So I'm going to start Mario Kart 8. Of course, this has an update right now, too. What else is new right now? There's a system update, actually. So we'll let that do its thing. But yeah, the screen size is very, very... Even the OLED, you got to remember, the OLED already had a bigger screen than the original Switch. So if you go from the original Switch to this one, it's going to feel even bigger to you. But if you have the OLED, it still feels much bigger. I mean, look at these side by side here. And look at these Joy-Cons. Like I said, they're sitting here right next to each other, and you can see how much bigger this Joy-Con is on the stand while it's sitting up here. It's a substantially larger system here. If I zoom in of it sitting on its dock, it's still a much bigger, and you can see the buttons are obviously bigger, so it's going to be more comfortable to use and all that. And yeah, so all right, so that did the system update here. Let's try again to open up Mario Kart on here. So just a quick comparison there. There's the black screen again. Like I said, it's not perfectly black, but it sure is all pretty goddamn black there with you know, being really close to what I see on an OLED. But here we go with the games loading, and here's a quick comparison. There's the Animal Crossing Switch. So this has the smallest screen, this being the regular Switch. Then you have that right next to there. You can see how much bigger that is there. And now take into comparison all three of these right next to each other, and look at the screens here that you have on each. But let's concentrate just on the Mario Kart 8 logo loading on both, just so you guys can see the vibrancy on both of these. There you go, look at that. There's the main intro screen on Mario Kart World. It looks fantastic. Obviously this one has a more vibrant color screen in the beginning just because of all the colors and stuff and the pop. But that Mario Kart World logo looks just as colorful, just as vibrant, and just as good on here. I'm not saying that OLED wouldn't be, you know, slightly better, obviously, but this is not like an LCD screen like this original one right here, where the colors are all dull and stuff like that, and the blacks are not as good by a long shot. You saw the blacks on the intro screen there. They're much closer to an OLED. That's why I think this is definitely using some sort of mini LED technology, but that's the comparison of both of them. There you go. Like I said, I will be doing a full video comparing this to all three of these switches together so you guys can get a full look of the gameplay, of the differences and everything that you have going on all of these. But for right now, let's go ahead and wrap this up. All right, guys, so that's the unboxing and first look at the Nintendo Switch 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video and you got some details on there. Like I said, I'll be doing a bunch of videos on this thing as the time goes on. The next video will definitely be the comparison of the OLED and the regular edition to this new Switch, so you guys can get all the differences of both and comparisons and videos side by side and all that stuff. Looking forward to doing that for you guys. And then the accessories video, when I open all those, when I get them tomorrow, and talk about the SD card and the camera and all that stuff. We'll do some of the stuff that thing gives off and shows off. So thank you guys for watching. Till next time.